The airport was a blur of rushing travelers, rolling suitcases, and overhead announcements. Emma, exhausted from a long flight, grabbed the first black suitcase she spotted on the carousel. In her mind, she was already picturing herself home, sipping tea, and sinking into her favorite chair. She didn't notice the sleek leather tag embossed with golden initials, CR, or the faint scent of expensive cologne that lingered as she rolled it away. Across the terminal, Charles, a CEO renowned for his business empire and notorious for being a workaholic, had been waiting for hours. Not for a meeting, not for a flight, but for a sign. A sign that he could still trust people, that love was not just a story he read about in magazines. His own luggage sat there untouched, a silent barrier between him and the life he longed to embrace. Emma, oblivious, stumbled through the airport exit, dragging Charles's suitcase behind her. She paused when a receipt fell out, a hotel in her city, not hers. Confused but polite, she debated returning it immediately. Meanwhile, Charles's anxiety turned into quiet despair. Then, with a deep breath, he approached her, his presence commanding yet gentle. "Excuse me," he called. "I think you have something that belongs to me." Their eyes met, a brief moment, but enough. Something shifted, a flicker of connection neither could explain. And in that moment, Emma had no idea that her simple, almost careless act would become the beginning of a journey neither of them expected. Emma clutched the suitcase, feeling a twinge of guilt. "I'm so sorry," she said, handing it over. Charles smiled faintly, the weight of exhaustion still in his eyes. "It's okay," he replied. "Most people wouldn't even notice. Thank you for being honest." As they walked toward the airport exit, conversation sparked naturally, unexpected yet comforting. Emma learned Charles had flown in from another country to finalize a major business deal, but more importantly, he shared quietly that he had been hesitant to open his heart again after years of solitude and heartbreak. Emma felt an unfamiliar warmth in her chest, sensing the vulnerability behind his poised exterior. When they reached the car, Charles paused. "Would you, maybe have time for a coffee?" "I owe you more than just thanks," he asked, his tone gentle yet hopeful. Emma hesitated, but something in the way he looked at her, patient and sincere, made her nod. Over steaming cups at a small cafe, their conversation flowed effortlessly. Laughter mingled with quiet moments of understanding. Emma noticed small details, a scar above his eyebrow, the way his eyes softened when he smiled. Charles noticed her kindness, her attentiveness, and the lightness she carried, even when she was tired. Neither mentioned how fate, or a simple airport mix-up, had brought them together. But both felt the undeniable pull of a connection they hadn't anticipated. Later, when they parted, Charles handed her a small envelope. "Just in case you want to continue this conversation," he said with a hopeful smile. Emma walked away, her heart lighter, unaware that the contents of that envelope held more than a phone number. It held an invitation to trust, to believe in unexpected second chances, and to embrace what life had quietly placed in her path. The days that followed were a quiet whirlwind. Emma couldn't stop thinking about Charles, the way he had laughed at her coffee order mishap, the gentleness in his tone, the way he seemed to genuinely listen. She hesitated before opening the envelope. Inside was a simple note, "Dinner tomorrow?" "See." With a flutter of nerves, she agreed. Charles, meanwhile, replayed every detail of their encounter. The suitcase mix-up felt like more than coincidence. Maybe it was fate, or perhaps the universe's subtle nudge to remind him that love was not yet beyond reach. He realized he had been waiting not for grand gestures, but for someone ordinary yet extraordinary, someone who could see past his title, his reputation, and into his heart. Dinner arrived, candlelight casting a warm glow on the small restaurant table. They shared stories, dreams, and vulnerabilities that felt as if they had known each other for years. Emma discovered the pressure Charles endured to maintain appearances, the loneliness hidden behind boardroom victories. Charles discovered Emma's resilience, her warmth, and the way she could brighten even the heaviest of days. As dessert arrived, Charles paused. "I don't usually do this," he said softly. "But meeting you, it feels like a second chance I didn't expect. I've been waiting for a sign, and somehow, it led me to you." Emma's eyes widened. "A sign?" He nodded. "A sign that life can surprise us. That love can find us when we least expect it. You're that sign for me." In that moment, Emma realized that the wrong luggage had brought the right person into her life. What began as an accident had turned into a chance for both of them to heal, to trust, and to open their hearts again. The airport mix-up had been a doorway to connection, compassion, and something neither of them wanted to let go of. Weeks passed, and Emma and Charles grew closer, their lives gradually intertwining. What had started as a brief encounter at the airport became weekend walks in the park, late-night conversations over tea, and quiet moments that felt like home. Every small act of kindness, every shared laugh, became a thread weaving them together. One rainy evening, Charles invited Emma to his office. She hesitated, unsure why, but the warmth in his eyes reassured her. Inside, the lights of the city shimmered through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Charles handed her a small, carefully wrapped box. Emma opened it to find a key, and a note, "A place for us, whenever you're ready." Her heart skipped a beat. She looked up, tears glistening. "Charles," she whispered. He stepped closer. "I've spent so long protecting my heart, waiting for a sign. You reminded me that life, love, and trust are worth taking a chance on. I want to share my life with you, Emma. Not because of luck or fate, but because you've shown me kindness, compassion, and love I thought I'd lost." Emma reached for his hand, feeling the sincerity in his grip. "And you've shown me that even small, accidental moments, like grabbing the wrong suitcase, can change everything." They laughed softly, the sound mingling with the rain outside. What had begun as a simple mistake had turned into an extraordinary gift, two hearts, once cautious, learning to trust and love again. Charles and Emma stood together, watching the city lights sparkle, feeling that life's most beautiful surprises often come unannounced. And in that shared silence, they realized something simple yet profound: kindness, courage, and openness can lead to love when you least expect it. The wrong suitcase had delivered more than luggage that day. It delivered hope, connection, and a future neither of them had dared imagine.